more of that armor game, that armor mitigation, and also a hero that we see a lot of these mid laners, specifically in America, like love to be flashy with too. I mean, come on, let's be real here. Smash. I don't know. Do you is Smash playing the mid lane? You'd think in this case. Hmm.
I think they alternate back and forth. It kind of depends on their heroes.
Uh huh.
I think one of the two players we don't know who they are is an offlaner.
Okay.
So I think Smash will be either playing mid or safe lane. Depending on the hero, there's a few heroes that Van will play in the safe lane, but for the most part, I think Van is playing mid for this team and Smash safe lane.
All right. Fair enough. I do know, yeah, in some cases, like hey, we're back in an Ember meta once again. If an Ember was to be picked up here on Dialcom, I would be very surprised if it was not in the hands of me Pestor.
Complexity's turn
Not
to
going to be the
pick.
case this time. Third pick, though, it's going to be an Earth Spirit. If you're picking an Earth Spirit, that means you got to have a player who can play it and do it work. I mean, I'm not going to single out anyone, but we saw an example like Biryu. He had a little bit of a struggle in the early game, like finding his place. That might be
10
more
seconds
due
remaining.
to MP having that dual
5
lane and
seconds
just forcing
remaining.
all of his attention there. But I think Complexity can still work with that. They can build up a draft right now and force this
Reserve
Earth
time.
Spirit to not have a successful early game. So I don't know. I'm very I'm a little suspect CNC. But oh god, we saw this earlier today. A Doom
Radiant
comes out.
team pick.
The Doom picked earlier was in response to like an Ember Spirit draft. This time it feels a bit more out of there. It's another like possibly 4 position Doom because there's already an Underlord. Oh my God, CNC bless us here. What is this Doom? What's going on here?
10
This
seconds
seems like a
remaining.
possible Z Freak hero. You get a few levels in the jungle, and then you run at the offlane with Underlord.
5
Sort of
seconds
what he used to do
remaining.
with Moo. You pick like these Conkas and Potoms, whatever, and he gets a couple levels, and he just runs at the offlane.
Reserve
Hasn't done
time.
that quite as much with monkeys. He's played more of the typical offlaner role compared to what Moo and Z Freak used to do when Moo was playing the offlane.
Yeah.
So I think that will be sort of the style they're going for here. If this is a support Venge, one of the weakest supports in the game in lane, so I'd be looking to get like a quick level 3, and then just storm the offline and be a pest to whatever the safe
10
laner that they have.
seconds remaining.
We'll have to see. It's also it's sort of like a counter roamer to this Earth Spirit, so you can maybe just follow him around, bully him, and keep him from rolling on this
Complexity's
SF,
turn
or
to
at least
pick.
turn the ganks around if they do roll on him.
All right, looking pretty good here. Sorry, I also had to double check to make sure my mic was on. But an Earth Spirit is going to be coming out here for Dowcom, and we'll
10
have to see
seconds
here
remaining.
if someone who can kind of shrug off the pressure of a
5
Doom in the
seconds
later game and still
remaining.
be able to get a lot done. But I don't know. Since then, the value of Ursa's kind of changed a bit in its stock,
Reserve
so
time.
I'm not sure if he's going to be the one that Doom would look to kind of target out and hold off. I mean, I know Earthspear would hate to be a part of a Doom there. It pretty much shuts down the hero entirely. But there used to be always that element of when you're going against a Doom, you can just create so many targets for him that it becomes a bit complex for like what he needs to do or what objectively he needs to kind of single out. I don't know if that makes any sense, CCNC, but is there still a factor of that available?
Yeah, I think for sure. And I think Doom now less than it used to be. You pick that hero because he just pressed R, and then the game was like really annoying. I think now, whenever that hero is picked, it's more for how he can get a pretty decent start. He can have the creep, so you don't either
There.
don't have to go the Dominator, or you can have
Radiant team
essentially
ban.
2 of the creep effects. And then you just kind of run at this off lane, or you run at whatever lane and get an early advantage with this hero by a bunch of tanky items to just sort of be a damage sponge. I think is more of the theme of that hero, and the
Okay.
Doom is just sort of an after effect. It's just I have Doom, I can silence somebody for a
10
really long
seconds
time.
remaining.
As opposed to how it used to be, where it's just you pick this hero, and then one of
5
the cores
seconds
knows, all right, I'm
remaining.
not going to get to play the game.
We'll have to see how
5
they're going to be able to
seconds
balance things out.
remaining.
If the core is not going to be a factor in the fights, if the 4 man that's there and
Complexity's
available
turn
can
to
kind of hold things
ban.
out for them to be able to be a factor when the Doom concludes, I guess you can say. But Complexity pick up
Complexity's
Alina
turn
here.
to pick.
That always feels like just like a
Radiant
Complexity thing.
team pick.
Not really a super relevant hero for a lot of the other teams at the moment, but it's looking like it's going to be a Swindle Melons Lena at that. I remember like Zhao A playing it a lot back when he was a part of LGD and finding a lot of success in it.
10
Do you
seconds
think
remaining.
that this is just Complexity kind of working with one of their like
5
kind of
seconds
go-tos,
remaining.
or where do you find the value in the Lena versus Dalcom's current four hero
Reserve
pickup?
time.
He actually picked Alina in a pub with me today against an Ursa, so I don't know if that's just coincidence. I think he's definitely been practicing the hero, and maybe they think it's strong. hero, kind of it runs around and presses spells on people and does damage, which I think is like the types of heroes that Swindle likes to play. Um, I don't know if he thinks it's good versus the Ursa. You try and burst him before he gets the enrage off, or what. But I think it may be they just want a strong laning hero. And I think Lina can be pretty good in the lane. A super long ranged hero, so benefits quite a bit from the Lunar Blessing. And then also you have the stun. You can like nuke people out. So maybe looking to have like a really strong laning phase with just these two heroes, so that Doom can roam around and do whatever he wants and not forced to help out the safe lane.
And Complexity round things out with a Luna just kind of goes along with how they want to be like maybe a 5-man or at least at some point come together and steamroll through these towers and just kind of take themselves into the win at that point. With what Dilecom have thrown together here, they have the Sand King, a decent amount to kind of fend off a push, but I would fear for them if that 5-man comes online sooner than later. It makes me feel like it's very fragile for Dilecom to get success in this early laning stage. I mean, do you feel like that's going to be the case for them? If it is, that's where I feel like, again, we're going to have our eyes on someone like Z-Talk here on his Earth Spirit to hope that he can kind of, make some plays.
Yeah, I think Earth Spirit is gonna have like a much nicer time this game. The best way to shut down that hero is just have heroes that he can't gank, and if there's no lanes he can roll to, and this hero just kind of stands around, being like, guys, I can't get my level 6, so we can't really fight. If he can't rotate to lanes, but I think the SF being mid, having the OD as well, so they have a setup for the roll as well, so can guaranteed hit the roll.
30 seconds to
If the SF ever gets out of position, and Earth Spirit gets, even just level 1, you could set up a kill on this SF a lot of times. Could potentially roll up on top of this Lina as well, set up a kill there with the Sand King.
Yeah.
If he gets a couple levels in his Burrow Strike, so I think he has more places to go this game, and can actually have a decent start in this Earth Spirit.
Let's see. I mean, as mentioned, Shadow Fiend is one of the best targets you can ask for on some ganking potential.
The battle begins.
But as the horn does sound here, nothing early to clash out. Monkeys is going to take his business down to the bottom lane and have it for himself here. And the esteemed Z-Freak Doom is going to join him here in the bottom lane. But obviously going to be crossing past early with the Vengeful Spirit. He just ups his business and looks like he'll take it elsewhere. They still have the camp right up here to work with, so he'll have something there. But I suspect, how much of an impression he's going to be making in the lane, or does he even need to? I mean, we saw earlier today the Doom kind of able to, do some zoning work with the Infernal Blade. And we're going to be seeing more of that, or, you probably remember Z-Freak's Doom style more than I would.
I don't think he's played Doom too much in the past. Back whenever Doom was really popular, it was like an offlane hero most of the time. So, there was the Swindle playing that hero in a couple of qualifiers, or whoever was playing offlane for them at the time whenever he was playing mid. Back in those days, but Doom hasn't been popular in quite some time, so.
Okay,
Oh,
moves on the Monkeys here. Yeah, I mean, they got him pretty low. He does everything in his power to try to stay alive, but it's not going to be good enough. And he gets taken down. It's a lot of pressure coming in, but for a team that was saying like they need to get a lot done going in the early game, that's a great way to start things out.
Yep, shutting down the Undoid. He's gonna get probably level 2 and a little bit off of this wave as the range creep's still alive. So isn't gonna be too sad about that, but after that, they should be able to pull the wave back as they do pull the hard camp here. Actually missing a couple of the creeps, so maybe Monkey's gonna get a little bit more. But as the lane goes longer and longer, he's gonna have a really rough time soloing versus Ursa.
We'll see how long Monkeys is going to be able to at least hold his own and grab as much available XP as possible. Nearby Z-Freak continues to do his thing. We've seen a rotation now coming out. Z-Talk looking to get that first connection here. No more mana available for cancel, but it's a bit far on this one. But they're going to set it up now with the imprisonment here. Get ready for the roll. It connects, but there is no boulder smash. So nothing will really come of it.
Yeah, he missed. I think if he hit that, he would have gone down on cancel.
Oh, it was just outside the range, so he wasn't able to catch and get on the other side of him. Cancel has a salve, so I'll be able to dodge that one. Z-Talk may need to wait till he gets to his level 2 before he can try to revisit that. Zivri comes to the mid lane now and tries to make his own mark there. Kind of purchase back the outworld, but he's going to stalk and kind of keep eyes on Z-Talk here. He's already level 2. He's actually almost level 3. Infernal Blade, boom, hard hit. And it's going to force Z-Talk out and go for some healing.
Yep, gonna meet up in Shrine with Van, so heal all the way up as Sand King looks like he goes down top. So we're talking about how strong this lane is versus just a solo offlaner like the Sand King, and he does go down. Still has the salve left, so when he TP's back to lane, he's not going to be completely out of region, but you know, don't want to be feeding any kills to this Luna and give her an early start.
Well, it kind of sends things right back. We start out the game with a takedown here of Monkeys, which we could be seeing them go back for once again, but it looks like Monkeys has already headed himself back. A little too late for Z-Talk to kind of get close enough on that one, but they're fine. Pull off of there. Z-Freak still making his impression in the mid lane for now, and Swindles will utilize all the solo farm he can get between pulling the camp and making his impression in the lane. So feels pretty nice for CompLexity, getting a lot done in the top lane and still trying to make their impression in the mid lane here, but we're seeing a full rotation over from the Vengeful Spirit. They set it up with the Astral. This time they should be able to get the kill. Cancel going down. Z-Freak can't do much about that one except just watch.
Yeah, and I think this is why they wanted this Doom, you know, just to be a bruiser to maybe help this SF and keep it from getting ganked, as they don't really have any defensive heroes, so not able to just sit some Dazzle or Shadow Demon behind him.
Yeah.
And save him whenever he's gone on, so sort of having the Doom to maybe you know, do it from the other direction, him being very offensive, getting in the OD space, keeping him from going on him. And this OD SF matchup is very, you know, it can go both ways very heavily. If the SF gets a really good start, then he can just totally crush the OD in lane. But on the other hand, it's very hard for the SF to kill the OD with ganks, whereas the OD can kill the SF quite easily with good rotations. So the OD getting the better of it early on, but once this SF gets like the Dragonlance, the BKB, OD can have a very hard time fighting into him in sort of this mid-game stage. It looks like CompLexity is going to be shooting for.
OD now crossing up here. Sends up the Astral here, going to get some damage on a cancel. While this happens, a jump. Swindle behind the tower here. They're looking to make a new approach here and get the takedown, and they will. Sand King going to get dropped. We go back over to cancel now. Z-Talk now steps in. Oh, but then suddenly Monkey shows up. The prison's going to be there, so that will be able to get the finish. Monkey's not going to be able to do much more on top of the root, so now he's going to have to step back. Shrine's there by his side, so obviously Dilecom have done enough as it is, and we'll pull back and out. But as I say that, Z-Talk, a man left behind here, gets up in arms, but casual save will fly through here. Good little early impression comes out for Dilecom on that one. Another takedown of cancel.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Yep, they definitely wanted to shut down this SF early on. Without him, it's not really a hero that can, you know, do too much in these 5-man fights unless he is, you know, has a few items. It's really, really squishy and easy to bring down. And the Sand King can get a blink at even just a semi-reasonable time. Then he'll have a hard time standing in these fights. Also, the Ursa can just jump him, get on top of him, unless he has the Hurricane Pike or Shadow Blade, or, you know, just has his team backing him up. So it's going to take a little time to catch up, but, you know, like we've seen from previous patches, SF one of the best comeback heroes in the game. So even if he does get shut down from the jump.
Oh, a nice dive here, looking to take advantage of a vulnerable Luna, who had no one by her side.
Dire's top tower
Fortunately for
is
the
under
gay solo
attack.
Ice Wizard, it's not going to be a good one. 4-2 now, and a good approach. Good rotations here. Z-Talk's making it work in the early game for the Earth Spirit for now.
Yeah, and like we talked about, Dilecom really wanted to get ahead in this early game. Don't let CompLexity get to that stage where they just start walking down lanes. As you know, they have very strong team fight, a whole lot of damage between the Eclipse, the Lina, the SF Rays is just so much burst damage, but not really the greatest on catch. So, you know, that could be a problem as the game goes later. So
Wave, stun. Melons, though, also waiting there behind. He can't hang and stay after, but at the same moment, it also takedown as Monkeys is going to get dropped here in the bottom lane. Ursa gets the upper hand, is going to be able to take him down on the other side. Oh, God, back end of it. Z-Talk also up in arms. Him and the Sand King not able to get the upper hand here. And Luna will get one last Listen Beam, but not good enough. Oh, man. They'll be able to make it out. Every
Ice
single
Wizard, though.
lane, except the one we watched. Had a little bit of bloodshed there, but things breaking out from across the map. Cancel stepping away from the lane, at least for now, as it's been a bit of a highly contested area. Who do you think is getting the better end of it now, especially after that recent breakout here with Luna getting the upper hand?
I think CompLexity is fine with the way things are going, and they just sort of have to weather this storm from Dilecom. As looks like the Ursa is going to be actually going for the blink first, just phase right into blink. So we're going to be trying to get active super early on, maybe set up kills in this Luna with that blink dagger and the Sand King. Was is level 6 now, so has the epicenter online. It actually looks like he was going for a solo kill, but Moo sniffing it out and coming to stand at the tower with Z-Freak coming in now to back him up. So they're going to spot the Sand King.
All right, there's Z-Freak. Steps in with the Infernal Blade and Sand King know that there will be no business up here. They still have help nearby, but as this happens, we're also seeing a rotation over here from Dilecom looking to try to cut off possibly
Radiant's middle
monkeys, but
tower is under
that
attack.
does not seem like it's going to be feasible here. Yep, Z-Talk's going to have to let that one go. 208 steps out in his own right. And we're going to be on to push territory now. Luna's got her helm ready to go with creeps in store. And we're just going to have to see if Dilecom even want to consider going for a tier 1 defense. The rotations are starting in. Vengel leading things off. No level 6 yet, no swap. Melon's hanging in the woods nearby. But nothing will come out of it. You know, mentioned the epicenter still online. Not going to be able to put any use to it now. There's a smoke movement now, but this might feel a little too little too late here. Swindles is close. They ping him now, but I think this opportunity may be gone.
Yep, they already backed off. Ursa looking for something. Wants to put this Blink Dagger to use. Really wants to get a kill on a core with this first gank, but may just run into Z because he's sitting on this hill, so gonna break the smoke.
Oh, they're rushing up, running, looking for anything. He's not even gonna bother trying to do anything about it. So he gets hit. The blink is canceled. He's able to step back now, but okay, well, thinking about chasing in for Venge. CompLexity just don't even bother coming up and into our woods. Fends them off in a way, and Dilecom will have to look elsewhere. They started so strong. They started like having these nice movements. They got 2 takedowns of Cancel, but now we're seeing Cancel just doing a lot outside of all these movements and kind of getting back into the grind for what was a troubling start.
Yeah, that dodging the initial Ursa gank like that is absolutely huge. As if you look at Dilecom's heroes, none of them really strike you as great tower pushers, so they really need to get these kills, make the early rotations work, and if they don't, then you know they just sort of have to go back, you know, push out the lanes and look for another rotation. If CompLexity keep dodging them, then Swindle.
Yeah, he's in trouble. There's a band player right behind him. He's able to make it up to the shrine. The TP comes in, and suddenly this Ursa is surrounded by 3. He's going to pop out the ultimate, trying to... okay, well, there's a Laguna that's going to suddenly bring him down. And Swindle's going to say, happy to kind of set that one up. And they're going to take their business all the way to the bottom lane. Real unfortunate. Goes from where Ursa was trying to make a debut, a strong one at that with his Blink Dagger. Now finds himself dead. So, well, this is not looking good for Dilecom. They had a very precious early game to kind of work with here, and maybe their next peak will come if they can get this Earth Spirit to level 6, get that Magnetize online. But we're already starting to see CompLexity maybe start coming together. I mean, as I say that, of course, Cancel's going to TP away, but how long are we going to be till that point where CompLexity can just kind of 5-man their way through this?
I think they want probably the HOD, maybe a little bit more onto monkeys. And I think as of now, they're just content to farm. Their heroes probably, you know, can go considerably better late game. I think, and Ursa and OD, you know, OD one of the better heroes late game for mid, but you know, up against the Luna and an SF with the Ursa as his supporting cast core, I don't really think they're gonna be able to take it late game. So I think CompLexity just content to defend these towers as long as monkeys go down.
Oh, Venge pays with her life. Trying to go that extra mile of getting the magic missile off onto Z-Freak. I don't think it was worth it now, as she will get dropped. A good rotation comes in from the Luna. Now Z-Freak committing in a bit deep behind the tower, finds himself into an Astral, but it doesn't matter. CompLexity have better team fight at the moment, better numbers. They're going to be able to secure this tier 1. Dilecom forced to sit on the sidelines and just kind of watch a bit. No good way to get in there and approach. I mean, up in the rafters, we have Ursa waiting. There's a rift. He's like, no, you can't leave. Yeah, they're gone, sorry. As Cole got what they wanted and are now going to head bottom to get the next thing, which is a tier 1.
Yeah, and I think just continuing to play like this for Cole, playing around Dilecom's movements. If they try and take a tower, coming there to defend the tower, if they find a hero opposition, taking them down, and not necessarily needing to force things themselves, but just, you know, making moves according to what Dilecom does, countering them every step of the way.
Melons spots out Sand King. He's going to get them back in a wake. Cole can take that tier 1, and we'll take a mighty rotation here to the mid lane where we have Dilecom hoping to get a response themselves. Nearby, Z-Freak dishes out the Doom. He's on the OD. He's eating a lot of damage. It looks like he's not going to be set for this world. A big burrow, but damage had been done. Nice root connection from Monkeys. Cancel goes for the Requiem and a couple of raises. That with the Laguna on top of it means that CompLexity take a hell of a good fight. Only the Sand King will survive for now. And now they come together and decide that it's going to be a good time to move forward, take some tier 2 action here.
Radiant's middle
Yeah, you
tower
can see
is under
Dilecom
attack.
trying to take down this tier 1 tower, but they just take towers so slowly.
Yeah.
CompLexity just rolls and takes them down, wins the team fight with their just superior fighting, and not gonna get the tier 2 like you said. And you know,
Radiant's
Dilecom was
middle
looking pretty
tower
good with
has
a couple of their
fallen.
cores in the top 3 networks, but now just the Ursa sitting up there surrounded by red.
This is going to begin to look a bit bleak here for Dilecom, as they're going to be in a position where they're just going to end up being a bit too poor. Looks like possibly a creep to Roche here.
Radiant's bottom
yeah.
tower is under
Oh,
attack.
maybe? No, it doesn't look like it. Back to that tier 1, right? We got to finish what we started, at least.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Cole will
Yeah,
never suspect that.
Radiant's bottom
Yeah, they
tower
should be
is
able to
under
finish
attack.
it, as not really set up for
Dire's
this,
middle
but
tower
just
has
one
fallen.
tower going down, and the tier 1 mid not near as important as it was last patches. You have the shrines now to give you more map control over this mid area, so even if your tower goes down, you're still fine. As far as map control wise, you can always TPD the shrines. It's a little annoying, but not the biggest deal in the world. Just a little bit of a gold bounty for Dilecom.
They'll need a lot more gold if they're hoping to find their way back into this one. We can take an early peek at the net worth, but it's only going to show us about 7,500 of an advantage for CompLexity. I say only, and it's not even 15 minutes into the game yet. Obviously, CompLexity still sitting quite high on this one, but you have an OD after all. You're committed for this. Looking to build into a 4-step, but you get this hero in hopes that he's looking to begin beating ass at this point, but doesn't feel like it. Hopeful setup right now, but CompLexity not going to be handing anything over too easy. They are reaffirming this buddy-buddy system here with really not too many kind of hanging away on their own. I say that, but Monkeys is here all the way in the bottom lane. He's pretty tanky, though, and obviously can pop up with Dark Rift just like this and be able to make it away from any trouble. Can they burst him down in time? No, they cannot. He's going to make it back.
Yeah, forces all, or 4 of Dilecom's heroes down to this bottom area. Odie not going all the way down, but most of the way there, and not really getting anything at all. And they have to push this lane out, but a lot of CompLexity heroes missing, so it's kind of risky for this Venge to push it out, as you can see, hesitating quite a bit. CompLexity with just massive map control, slowly out farming them, and with the better late game, it's not a position you want to be in as Dilecom.
Just a very tough game, and this is when you just got to make those kind of calls. I don't know if you're the captain or if the team is like even there kind of communicating at this point, but you're just like, do we allow this to just kind of happen where we slowly get starved out and hope for like a high ground hurrah of a defense or CompLexity to misstep, or you get some smokes and you try to, like, I don't know, find some unique approach. It's just difficult. They got to take it step by step, though. They got some wards at least secured in their own jungle here, but here they are moving towards the top. CompLexity's on the other side of the river. I would be a bit concerned for them to see how they're going to be able to kind of get the upper hand. Okay, there's the smoke. Maybe trying to bait out what looks like OD in the lane and get the jump from behind, but not one that Cole are going to be quick to go on for. But look at this, a big wraparound here coming out from Dilecom. Maybe too big of a wraparound? They're going all the way up to the top lane.
Yeah, missing him a little bit. CompLexity actually picking up the smoke as well. Both teams drawing lines, just sort of frolicking all over each other's jungles, trying to find somebody, but CompLexity may just be satisfied with taking down this top lane if they don't find anyone in the next couple of seconds, which it looks like they will not.
Yeah. More unfortunate, obviously, for Dilecom. Could have led to an opportunity for them to maybe get the upper hand, but then again, Underlord in the back and the boosting and sustained potential of CompLexity, it ain't going to be easy. So as mentioned, CompLexity, they settle for the tier 1. And now just one more tier 2 stands before they can start taking some shrines here, but nothing's stopping them yet, so why not just keep going down this bottom lane? Force Dilecom all the way back once they start seeing some TP show up. Monkey says, don't worry guys, I called an Uber. Just make sure, you know, you give me your PayPal. All right, well, he heads back to the bottom lane and steady as we go here. I mean, we've seen this story before. We just have to see if it's going to change and the pressure's on Dilecom to find out where to do it.
Yeah, they're gonna walk down this bottom lane and take the last tier 2, and I don't really know if they can fight them here. Smash is working on getting the Deso, going for, you know, some extra damage, see if they can actually burst on some of these CompLexity heroes, but still missing one Mithril Hammer, so it's never completed. Monkeys with a full mech and HOD compared to just the Sand King's Blink Dagger.
Yeah, he's actually getting up with the Sand King a bit here, but that leaves the Luna back in behind. Ursa trying to get in there with this one, but not able to do enough. Oh, a nice swap, pulls him back from trouble. Big epicenter, followed up with a magnetize. Can't ask for anything better here. But is it enough? It does not seem to be so. Here comes CompLexity now. Shrugging off that bit of damage. They're going to catch out an OD. They'll take that one. They've already taken down 2 others. Only 2 will remain here. There are buybacks. Death timers are so low, though, they might even need to use them. Kohler here, though, they're looking to walk away with a Rax.
Yeah, you don't really want to buy back on an OE with 15 seconds left to respawn. Even if he does buy back, it'll take so long to get to the buildings. They're already set up with the catapults. One of them stolen from the HOD, the Centaur. It's just extremely hard to fight into this lineup. There's 4 CompLexity heroes on the top of the net worth charts.
Yeah, Swindle, get with it. Here we see, though, Sand King toying with him a bit. Any chance that CompLexity can just overstep? We'll see. Ambitious jump in just for a Hurricane and 2 in the face, and then Cancel will finish it off with a raise. He'll go for canceled out Requiem. This is going to be the cleanup right now. CompLexity just making a hard committed statement here at the back end of game number 1, saying that we want to take 2 wins and remain at the top of this group stage, or at least fight for that qualifier spot. They look real good. Well, as expected in this matchup, they look real good in game number 1.
Yep, and they call it GG, so these top teams showing are, at least the tier 1.5 teams, the NP, CompLexity, DC, showing that, we have our 0.5 here for a reason. And, as we talked about, probably will come down to this last day with these, a couple of games where the big dogs